Hello, my name is Harry. I'm the first affirmative rebuttal for the pro side, and our pro side upholds the proposition that euthanasia and assisted suicide should be legalized. First, I would like to rebut to the con side's first point. The con side's first point was that doctors are hard to regulate, but I would like to rebut that because these doctors are hard to regulate, we should legalize euthanasia to regulate these doctors. So their point was actually supporting our proposition. The second rebuttal would be that the con side's second point was that many families would misuse euthanasia if it would be legalized, and they gave an example of a man who euthanized his wife. But this is just but one example, so it could be a hasty generalization, logical fallacy. And plus, all those families in the world, they share their blood, so they love each other, and it would be hardly possible for them to misuse it and kill another person. And I would like to go back to our points and strengthen them. Our first point was that euthanasia can take away the economic burden, and the con side rebutted it as morally wrong. But what is really morally wrong? The economic burden, taking away the economic burden to their family. Because of that one person, the whole family they need to sell their car, sell their house, ration their food out. But by taking away that one person, the whole family could benefit and could live freely and live a wholly better life. And that's not really morally wrong. And plus, our second point was that humans have the right to die as well as the right to live. And this can be an analogy to the right to vote and the right to not vote. If you want to vote to make a government, you can vote if you want to vote. But if you don't want to vote, if you don't want to be related to this whole thing, you cannot vote. So you still have a right to not vote. So this is the same with the right to die. If you feel like you are in too much pain to live, you still have the right to die. And thank you.
Thank you. All right, Jeannie, the first negative rebuttal.
Good morning, fellow debaters and honorable judges. My name is Jeannie, and I will be providing the first negative rebuttal. Today we are discussing whether or not euthanasia or assisted suicide should be legalized or not. And our team's stance is that euthanasia or assisted suicide should not be legalized. I would like to start with some rebuttals to their first affirmative opening. They were affirmative opening and the rebuttal. They were first talking about the legalizing euthanasia can reduce economical burden of the family, and our team rebutted in the opening that patients can be forced to die for families' money, and the affirmative team rebutted to again that by letting one go, family can gain more economical peace. However, who is more important, humans or money? I think our team contends that human life should be the first thing that always we have to consider. And the second point that affirmative team was talking about was that humans' rights. However, we already defeated with this point that it is different from other rights that the opponent team was making an analogy. If you have a right, like in the right to vote, if you decided to vote for person one, you can later change your decision to person two. However, in the decision of dying or not, if you die one day, you can never come back to and have a consideration about it and change your decision. About the dying, there's no second chance. And they were talking about there will be suffering pains and for people, and it will be sorrow for family to see them dying. However, there are flexible modern cares, and nowadays painkillers are greatly developed that reduces human's pain, and I think that families and patients do not have to go to so extreme choices that leads one to die, even though there can be other choices that can lead patients to a painless way. And fourth point that we're going about that there can be moral conflict. However, this actually supports our point by saying that in talking about moral, it is always wrong to kill someone, no matter what the methods or no matter what reasons was it. And in the rebuttal to our rebuttal, the affirmative pointed out that legalizing euthanasia, our point was that they rebutted to our opening that it is our point that it is hard to keep in track of doctors who carry out euthanasia, and they said by legalizing euthanasia this can actually be reduced. However, we are talking about the places, about Oregon and Netherlands, where places that are already euthanasia are legalized. We were given examples about Oregon, which also had difficulties in keeping in track of doctors. However, Oregon has already legalized euthanasia, and in our arguments about misuse of the euthanasia, they have pointed out that it is a hasty generalization to come up with only one example. However, there are other examples. However, we just came up with the one typical one that, because due to time, however, I would like to support other cases. In some cases, people
1 minute.
pay money for those families who have a patient who has fell into coma or vegetative state to get the organs to be transplanted. This is also another cases of misuse of euthanasia. To sum up our ideas, our team strongly believes that euthanasia or assisted suicide should not be allowed. Thank you for listening.